Let's talk money, baby. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my top 6 tips for handling money with men, whether you're dating, in a relationship, or married for many years. This video is going to be gold. It's going to make you so much financially smarter as a woman. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and watch it right till the end because every tip is going to be useful for you. This is dating and relationship coach Sami Wunder, and I am so glad you're here. Make sure to hit like and subscribe to my channel if you want to get Sami wisdom on how to have an amazing romantic relationship as an empowered, successful woman. All right, so tip number 1, let's start with early dating, and then we'll get to the women in relationships and married ladies. In early dating, it is supremely important that you hold a boundary for, number 1, the man paying for the dinners and for the dates, and number 2, you're looking out for an attitude of generosity with his money from the man. So let's talk about the first part. I want a guy to pay for your dinner. I absolutely do, because if a man is inviting you on a date and he is being stingy about picking up the check, paying for your salad and your water, paying for your chicken and your water, then what kind of future generosity is he signaling if you were to choose him as a partner? I mean, you're dealing with a non-generous person, you're dealing with a 50-50 person, you're dealing with somebody who's stingy about $20, $50, $100. What does this indicate about this man's potential to be a future partner? It's a very bad signal. And so I always tell my clients, do not listen to dating coaches who are telling you to at least offer, it looks nice, because why should you offer when the man invited you on the date? This is not work. This is not friendship. This is romance, for God's sake. And in romance, you want to feel special, you want to feel cherished, you want to feel like a man is going out of his way to impress you. And if a man is doing 50-50 on date 1, date 2, date 3, date 4, I am sorry, but that is a very poor signal of the future this man can provide for you. Now, I also spoke about the quality of generosity, and I really wanted to talk about that because I talk about that in my Elevate group coaching program, where we tell our clients that when you're dating somebody, it's important to see if they're generous or not with their money. Because sometimes our clients have dated CEOs who are super wealthy, high net worth, and then they count the pennies and they are like constantly calculating, I paid for this, you should pay for this, or they want you to go 50-50. And then there are men like my clients have dated who are like police officers, salaried engineers, and they really want to please you, even if they make less than you. And so the idea here is that we have to give up the belief that wealthy men are generous, because so many wealthy men are not at all generous with their money. And then there will be men who may not have a lot of money, who may not have a lot of resources, but they're generous with what they have and they want to see you happy and they want to make you happy. This quality is so important because I've had some clients in the Elevate Relationships group where the guys are really high on their net worth, and they treat these women really poorly and they use their money as a way to control the woman. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for my clients. I don't want that for my community. You know, you want to see a man who is generous with his money. If he makes 10,000 less than you, 20,000 less than you, but he's generous with his money, he is a far better candidate than a man who makes more than you, but then is not generous with his money and gifts and is actually trying to use his money as an instrument to control you. So early dating, hold out with the boundary financially, he pays. Don't go 50-50. It's not romantic. This is not friendship. And definitely look out for the quality of generosity. Now, tip number 2, money tip number 2 is mid-level dating. Show up as a more reasonable partner and be willing to share where it's reasonable to share while still maintaining polarity and still making sure that the man is pouring in more than you are financially. So the reason why I want to bring in this conversation of reasonability in mid-level dating is because I see my clients date different types of men. So in Elevate, some clients are dating men who make a lot more money than they do. Some are dating men who make the same amount of money that these women do. And some are dating men who make slightly less, not too less, because I don't think that can work, but slightly less than what these women make. I've been doing this for 10 years now. We've served over 1,500 students inside Elevate Next Level Love. Do check it out. It's enrolling and the link is in the description below. What I found is that in mid-level dating, you have to be reasonable to see what is the level of the man I am dating right now. So like the guy who's a tech CEO, startup CEO who has lots and lots of disposable income, he probably doesn't mind footing the bill for your plane rides, the hotels, and all your meals. And, that's really cool. If you are dating somebody like that who is both having the resources and having the generosity, 10 on 10, we all want that. Lovely. But some of you may be dating men who are more on your income scale. Nothing wrong with that. A man is not just about the money he brings. A man is also so much more than that, right? Like provision can happen not just in terms of money. And I teach this in Elevate and I'm so proud of it. Provision can happen in terms of his time, his energy towards you, his effort towards you, his emotional availability towards you. Because I know a lot of my high flying clients really appreciate that. These women who've got the money. And so money is not a big deal for them. But what is a big deal is love, companionship, being held, being kissed, being made love to, having a partner in crime, somebody you can call when your tire goes flat or you're really sick. So my clientele really appreciates that. My clientele is not just about the money because she made her own money. So if you're dating somebody who is more at your level or slightly below what you're making, then I would say be a reasonable person while maintaining the polarity, while ensuring that he's pouring the max, but you're still being reasonable. So if he's picking up a 5-star hotel and he's picking up the meals, it is reasonable then in mid-level dating to offer to just pick up the flights as a gesture of goodwill from your part. If he's paying on most dinner dates, just pick up the coffee afterwards, just pick up the cocktail afterwards. And don't take this as a rule. I love my clients to use their own brain, use their own intuition, assess the man that they're sitting in front of, because some men, even if they make less than you, and I know my husband is like that, they still want to be the hero, they still want to provide, they still want to give whatever they can. And so you might have a man like mine who actually doesn't want me to open my wallet no matter what. Okay, so you have to assess what kind of person is in front of you, what kind of man you're dealing with. But at the same time, do not be afraid to be a reasonable person who is sharing a bit of what is reasonable to share in mid-level dating when the connection is developing and deepening. And I think it's important for me to say this because there is so much superficial feminine energy advice out there. It's actually producing this generation of women that are literally sitting waiting for a guy to do everything for them and, never even pick up a coffee because you're a queen. The problem with this advice is that's so unrealistic. A lot of these people who are giving this advice, they haven't been in long-term marriages and they don't know what it looks like to be empowered with money themselves. Because if you're empowered with money yourself, you will value other things as well, not just money. So you will not make a big deal out of like spending $100 when somebody's spending $3,000 on you. So like this rigidity that we have in the feminine energy space sometimes is really bothering for me because I feel like it hurts my clientele more than it helps them. Now, tip number 3, never loan your money to a man if you're not married to him. Never, ever, ever do that. And honestly, even when you're married to a man, only tread with care. I am not a fan of women lending their money to men, and I still see so many women do that. And with the Elevate Relationships group, we don't just help you attract a great empowered masculine man in Elevate, we also have a group where we help you support with creating an amazing relationship. What I've seen is that so many women will lend the money and say that's just a small amount of money, it's not a problem, but then later on they quote it and they talk about it and they feel resentful about it. So definitely do not loan your money if you're going to quote it later in the future, and if he never gave it back, if it will become a thing in your relationship. I really like to protect my relationship from this money drama. And the cleanest way to do that is to you manage your money, he manages his money. Both of you, if you're in a relationship, have a joint account where everything is agreed on who pays what, who takes care of what, while maintaining the polarity, while maintaining the masculine man contributing more than the woman is contributing. Now, let's get to tip number 4. Have very clear agreements. This is for women in relationships and married women. Have very clear agreements on who's paying what. And this is super important because if you do not have clear agreements and you're married or you're in a relationship, at some point one partner or the other will start to feel taken for granted or will feel like I'm giving too much, you're not giving enough. And so when we work with our clients and Elevate relationships group, even before our clients get married, we invite them to have the money conversation. And the money conversation is simply the conversation around, here's what I'm willing to do, here's what I make, what are you willing to do in the equation, here's what you make. Is it okay if I give slightly less in this department, you take this over more? Is it okay if the luxury bit is my department and the everyday life is your department? Is this okay for you? So there are all these nuanced money conversations that I encourage my clients to have. But the key word here is agreements, right? Like if you don't have agreements, you will have situations where resentment is building up, and we don't want that to happen. Tip number 5 is to not put a man's name on your insurances, on your house deeds, on your assets, on your inheritance, for God's sake, till you are 100% sure this is the person for you for life. Okay? I even encourage my clients to go for prenups, especially those of my clients who are getting married later in life. I think it is extremely foolish for women when they just put a guy's name on all of their assets and all of their hard work. And most of the times they're not even married, right? So I would never ever do such a thing before I'm married to somebody. So I would never do it in the engagement phase. I would never do it at all in the dating phase. And I would also take my time even after I'm married. This is about understanding that you can only get to know somebody over time, and there should be ideally no rush. If you are with somebody for love, if you are with somebody for the joy and companionship they bring to you, there should be absolutely no hurry to put them on your house deeds or your insurances. By the way, I hope you're enjoying this. I hope this has been useful. If it has been, make sure to give me a like, leave me a comment. I love hearing from you ladies. So the final tip is getting good at talking about money. So many women I work with inside Elevate have a hard time talking about money. It's like talking about money is like that triggering, anxiety producing, I'm a bad girl, why do we need to talk this? This is so awkward. Usually that is the energy when people talk about money. And in my house and in my programs, we talk about money all the time. We talk about money like it's the weather. Okay, so I hope this is helping you think of money in a different kind of way, because I think shifting your own energy towards how you see money is one of the most empowering things you can do. Money is just money. Money is not good. Money is not bad. Money in the hands of good people does good things. Money in the hands of bad people does bad things. Wealthy people are not bad people. Poor people are not good people. Poor people are not bad people. Wealthy people are not good people. Wealthy people are just wealthy people, right? Like there is no judgment around money. Money is just a neutral commodity. And so people like me, who come from a very humble background, I didn't grow up in money, and I learned to have a healthy money mindset, because you need that if you want to be able to talk about money, if you want to attract money, if you want to hold money. So we talk about all of this, by the way, inside Elevate, and we teach it to our clients, because I think just making your comfort with money and talking about money in your relationship, like you would talk about, oh, it's raining, oh, it's sunny. This is the energy we need. Okay, this is how empowered we want to become. I want my divas to become, and I want my community to become when it comes to talking about money, because money is just another thing. And the more we make it a big thing, the more we make it a, ooh, money, the more we put it up on a pedestal. And as somebody who just makes a lot of money today, I have learned that money is not worth pedestaling. There are many good people who don't have a lot of money, and there are many bad people who have a lot of money, and then there are many good people who have a lot of money. You get the point, right? Like money is neutral. It's the human that does good with it or bad with it. And money conversations inside relationships need to be more open, need to be more neutral. I'm gonna finish this video. I got carried away, but I hope you enjoyed it. I actually have a program, Men and Money, on my website on SamiWunder.com if you want to go check it out. It's an extremely powerful program. But really, I think the idea here is to heal your own energy with money so that you can talk openly, easily, and freely about money. Because guess what? Whether you like it or you don't, if you want to date a guy, if you want to be in a relationship with a guy, if you want to be with anybody in a long-term relationship, you have to talk about money. It's one of the things you cannot escape, so you might as well do the work needed in order to build your confidence talking about money. I hope this was helpful. If you would like 5 more tips from me on the topic of money, leave me a comment and say part 2 below this video, and I will come back with even more amazing tips on men and money for you. Lots of love. Thank you for being here. I love you so much.